Have you ever tried starting a new habit only to have it fade away after a week? Maybe you told yourself, I'll work out every morning, but somehow every morning that snooze button just kept winning. Or you tried to meditate, but by day 3, life just got in the way. Chances are it's not the lack of willpower, it's the habit wasn't set up for success. Habits aren't random, they follow a predictable pattern. As if you can remember, it's cues, routines, and rewards. Can you remember what this is called? That's right, it's called the habit loop. When you understand this loop, you can intentionally design habits that stick. Here's a reminder. The cue, this is the trigger that starts the habit. It could be a time of the day, an emotion, or an event. For example, walking into the kitchen might cue you to grab a snack from the fridge, or the feeling of being stressed might cue you to reach for your phone to call someone. Routines. This is the behaviour itself, the action you take in response to the cue. For example, snacking or scrolling on social media. And then finally we have the reward. This is what you get out of the habit. It could be a satisfaction, the comfort or the relief of boredom or stress. Here's the key. If any part of this loop is unclear, the habit won't stick. Let's say you want to replace the habit of staying up late and watching TV with going to bed early. How do you design a habit loop for this? The cue, decide on a trigger that will signal it's time to wind down. Maybe it's setting an alarm for 9:30 and dimming the lights. The routine, instead of reaching for the remote, you'll follow a bedtime routine, perhaps a cup of herbal tea and reading a book. And finally we have the reward. The reward will be potentially waking up feeling more rested, even having more time in the morning, so maybe you can cook yourself a breakfast. You've now created a loop that aligns with your goals. It's time to apply this to your own habits. This habit might be different to the one you initially chose at the beginning of the process, which is fine. So first of all, pick the habit you want to introduce. Secondly, identify the cue that will trigger it. Thirdly, plan your routine, the exact steps you'll take. And then number 4, decide on the reward that makes the habit satisfying. For example, if you want to start journaling, your cue could be finishing your morning coffee, the routine writing for 5 minutes, let's say, and the reward might be the sense of clarity or checking off a box in your habit tracker. Take a few minutes to design the habit loop for your new habit you want to introduce. Write it down, what the cue is, the routine and the reward. Once you've mapped it out, share your loop in the community. We'd love to see how you're making progress and maybe we can share some ideas.